public have always loved them, but to art critics, pre-Raphaelite paintings have always been seen as, well, don't quite know how to put this, Victorian tat. Now, though, they're back in vogue again, with the opening later this year of one of the biggest exhibitions of their work and a feature film about one of their models. Our culture editor, Matthew Kane, has had exclusive access on set with Emma Thompson and Dakota Fanning.
Well, forgive me. This child does not need to hear about her husband's triumph just now. What she needs is a cup of beef tea and some suet.
An experienced confidant gives advice to a young woman trapped in a loveless marriage. It's a scene from forthcoming film Effie, starring Dakota Fanning and Emma Thompson, who also wrote the screenplay.
5:31, take it.
The film tells the true story of Effie Gray, who married the influential art critic John Ruskin in 1848. But on their wedding night, her husband was repulsed by her physical form, and the marriage was never consummated.
I tried to imagine what it would have been like for this girl to marry someone who was famous and whom she adored, and then discover that not only was she not getting anything that she had expected, but also that it was a sort of hell for her, and that there was nowhere to go. The trap of, you know, a female caught in this Victorian marriage, out of which she really didn't know how to escape.
Effie Gray would eventually find escape through her relationship with painter John Everett Millais. Millais belonged to the pre-Raphaelite movement, a group of artists whose highly detailed and vividly coloured work was inspired by early Renaissance painting, the period pre-Raphael. The pre-Raphaelites rejected the idealism of elegantly staged compositions in favour of much more realistic situations.
Well, the art's important for me because you have a champion of the pre-Raphaelite movement, John Ruskin, who celebrated the everyman, the imperfect, which is a wonderful thing to celebrate, but in fact in his personal life rejected the imperfect. His wife was not exactly as he thought she should be, was not an alabaster figure or was not a painting. She was human, she had faults.
The pre-Raphaelites might have been considered radical and revolutionary in their day, but during the 20th century they fell out of fashion. Critics began to look down on their work as trite Victoriana or bourgeois escapism. But over the last few years, attitudes have changed, and later this year a major new exhibition will invite us to look again at their work. In September, Tate Britain will make the largest exhibition of work by the pre-Raphaelites for nearly 30 years. It will bring together 150 works from around the world, including these paintings in the gallery's permanent collection.
Modernist art critics sort of looked down upon them with disdain because they felt their subject matter was anecdotal, perhaps rather sentimental, moralistic. But I think in recent years, particularly with the number of biographies being published on the pre-Raphaelites, television dramatisations, now films, people are intrigued not only by the pictures but also by their biographies of the artists who made them and the models in the pictures.
In this painting, The Order of Release, Effie Gray modelled for Millais, who became her second husband. On the set of the film telling their story, Emma Thompson has her own theory about why so much Victorian art and literature is enjoying a revival in popularity.
I think that's got more to do with time passing. If you know, I was born only 60 years or so after Victoria had died, and you know, in the latter half of the 20th century we're just flying as far as we can and as fast as possible away from the last period which had held a grip on us. But now that grip has loosened so much, we're able to turn back and look at it and say, oh, that's interesting.
Perhaps the film's most interesting aspect is its exploration of a young woman's struggle to live up to someone else's idea of physical perfection. The filmmakers hope this will offer contemporary resonance for a new generation of teenage girls.